girl Carly. Hope you guys are having an incredible day. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. If you're new here, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. I post videos every single Sunday, and I would love to have you in the next one. In today's video, we are doing a long-awaited Notion tour. I say long-awaited because if you follow me over on Instagram, let's just say y'all have been asking me. You guys have been asking me for a Notion tour for 500 days and nights. And I did do a Notion content calendar tour setup about this time last year. So if you guys are interested in that, not a lot has changed from my content calendar video for my content calendar. So I will link that down below so you guys can watch it, because I will not be going over that in today's video, but I will be taking you guys through the entire extra setup that I have kind of accumulated and done over the past year. But that being said, Notion is also very life-changing for my personal life, and I kind of use it as my second brain, and I wanted to show you guys today. So without further ado, let's get into the Notion tour. Starting off, we have my personal Notion home hub. As you can see, I am very into the pink and the reds and this pattern and all of that. It's a vibe. I like it. It's my little personal brand. So I have it set up here. I actually custom made this header in Canva. Very easy. I've been very into also the flame heart emoji lately, so that's on here. On the left side here, I have my vision board of the month. If you guys watched my February reset video, you guys would see that I shared this vision board already. This is actually my vision board like for the year, but I do like to do them every single month for every single reset routine. Anytime I do a new one, I will put it on the home hub so that I can be reminded of whatever goals I'm working on that month, whatever I'm working towards. I can just see it all the time. So it constantly stays top of mind and motivating for me, versus like just making it and only having it in the one section of my Notion. Moving on to the other side portions here, I have the weather in Edmonton. I actually love having this because knowing what the weather is very important, especially when you live in Canada, because one day you could wake up and be so motivated to take photos, but it's minus 40 outside. So I have that on here just to check. Right underneath it, I have a calendar. That just kind of obviously keeps me up to date on what day it is. Same with the time. Obviously, I have the time on my watch, on my phone, on my computer, all those things, but I have it on here too, just to make sure that I always know the time, so I'm never late for anything. Right down here, I do have a countdown. It says, "My baby is back." If you guys don't know, my girlfriend is in the military and she is currently deployed. So I have this countdown on here to count down when she is back for a little bit of her leave. This is great. I love seeing it count down every day because can't wait to see my girlfriend. Something I should say is that all of these little widgets are from a website called Widgetbox. Widgetbox specifically does Notion widgets, and there's so many different ones. There's obviously the clock that I have. They have an analog clock, calendars, you can do the actual square for the weather. It is a paid service. It's $2.79 Canadian a month. I personally like it. I think that spending $3 a month on it is enhancing my Notion experience, but if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. I'm sure there are other options, and if anything, you can also just create assets in Canva if you would like as well. Moving down to my personal home hub, we have sections for social, business, admin, finance, as well as personal, and my weekly to-dos and my home renovation personal projects. Tackling this upper area first, I actually made all of these images in Canva with the colors and the fonts that I wanted. I wanted them to feel kind of like buttons while also being headers. In our first category, we have social. This is obviously where I do all of my personal social media. Here we have Carly Personal. This is basically all of my personal social media except for the podcast, because the podcast does have its own little section, which I will show you guys. And then I also have a growth tracker here. Our next section is business. We have brain dump, strategy calls, my YGK CRM, as well as my PR hub. Obviously, brain dump is where I just brain dump all of my ideas. Next, we have strategy calls. I did have a strategy company that I was working with for 6 months last year. This is where I would kind of debrief all of our calls or take notes while we were on our call. I don't really use this much anymore, but it is good to reference and have. Next is the YGK CRM. This is actually a CRM that was made by one of my friends. We will dive further into the CRM. I'll show you it in a little bit, but essentially it helps me to manage my friendships and my business relationships and all of that. The next section we have here is admin. So here you can find the nation, which is essentially the employees at YGK, passwords, travel, monthly reset, and daily debrief. Travel is the calendar that I have of my personal travel. Monthly reset you guys are familiar with if you watch the monthly reset video, but this is the hub for it. And then we have daily debrief, which is essentially like a nighttime journaling journaling exercise that I started at the start of this year, and I really like it. I'm excited to show you guys that section. Next up we have finance, which is giving my like financial girly era so much joy. I've been really into finances lately, as you probably could tell on my monthly reset video. I was very passionate about it, and it all lives under this tab. We have Profit First, which is how I do my accounting for my business. Miss Independent, which is essentially an exercise from the book Miss Independent by Nicole Lapin. I also have my personal expense tracker as well as my business expense tracker. I like to keep them separate because obviously they're different accounts and different cards, but having these in here has made such a drastic difference. Last category we have is personal. I have my Dream 10 Life, Epically Aligned, which is a program that I did pay for, Let's Change Your Life, Casa YGK, as well as a habits tracker. I actually posted a video on YouTube all about Dream 10 Life and these 10 questions that I use to change my life every single year. Normally I do it in a Google Doc and I just change the name of it every year, but I thought because my life is slowly migrating solely to Notion, I might as well start putting it in my Notion. Next up we have Casa YGK, which is essentially a big giant spreadsheet on things like buying a house, renovating that house, what furniture items I want in my future in all of my rooms, all of that. Everything in there is kind of theoretical, but it's nice to have a tracking list of things that I want in my future home, because also too, if I ever find myself in the position where I have extra money outside of investments and everything I've already covered and I'd like to treat myself, you know, a new couch could be on the list. Last and personal, we have habits tracker, which I haven't fully got into. This is actually a template from someone else, but I will show it to you because I want it to work. I just haven't sat down and started it yet. The final piece of the home hub here is my weekly to-dos as well as my home renovation and personal projects. I have this sectioned out into this week, all tasks, decluttering lists, as well as things like high, medium, low priority, and if things have been completed or not. So as you can see, I have all of these tasks here. I have it filtered to only show me 10 tasks at a time, but if I were to do this week tab, it would switch over to the this week view. On the home hub, I do like to have it as the this week view, so when I sit down on a Monday, I know what personal tasks that I have to complete for this week, and then anytime anything is done, I'll check it off into completed, and it'll go into the completed category, and I won't see it on my all tasks anymore. Next up is the home renovations and personal projects list. This is set up essentially the exact same way, and I have things like cleaning my shower floor or mopping my living room, or other things that are kind of more home renovation construction-y, like painting my walls because I did renovate my office and I have some holes that I need to fill and paint, or adding doorknobs to my bookcases and stuff like that. I like to separate these things out between my weekly to-dos and my personal and home renovation project because they are just slightly different things. With that being said, let's dive deeper into each category on my home hub. Starting with social, I will show you guys just a glimpse of what my social media calendar looks like. Up here we have every single platform that I kind of have. We have Instagram, Instagram Reels, TikTok, my blog, YouTube, YouTube Shorts, and my weekly newsletter. I also have this master content calendar doc as well. And down here I have weekly schedule, so this is how much I'm posting content week by week. Down here I have a content calendar. This is the master calendar that I was talking about up here in the corner in a calendar view. I do have all of my pages here linked to the master calendar, so when you come into this page, it's kind of chaotic. It has every single page under every single month from every single calendar, versus when you come into Instagram, for example, this is filtered in a way where it'll only show you what is Instagram feed related on the master content calendar. And I do it this way, so when I click into, for example, this Instagram feed post, I can click the date and click January 11th, and it'll actually show me on my master content calendar January 11th, which is this feed post, and bring it up. And I can also see what else is happening. So for example, I posted a TikTok, and I can also see that it's on my master content calendar. If you guys are interested on a refresh or an update in my content calendar Notion, let me know down below. I will do it for you guys if you want me to, but if not, like I said, the Notion content calendar video that I originally put out is linked in the description below. Moving on to the growth tracker, this is what we have here. I, as you can see, have not filled it out. It is also the last day of January, so there's not a lot really to fill out. This is like very basic tracking info if I just want to continue to track the numbers, but like I said, I do have a spreadsheet that I track more intensely on, but this is kind of nice just to reference and just have. Moving on to the business side, let's jump into YGK CRM. Like I said, I actually did not build this CRM. My friend JC did send this to me, so I am not 100% sure how all of the equations work on this page. There are things like the name, the relationship, birthday, the industry, where they work, the location, as well as if they're a VIP. The VIP section is really cool because it will tell you when did you last contact them, the status. So if you are up to date with this person, you'll get a thumbs up. If not, you'll get a different indicator saying that you should probably follow up. Overall, I love the CRM because it helps me to very much stay on top of my network as well as my friends and my colleagues, and I love it. Moving on to admin, I will show you a quick overview of my monthly reset page. Obviously, I already dived into my February monthly reset, so if you guys want to know more in depth of how I use this page, make sure to check out that video. But this is what my monthly reset page looks like. I actually do have this as a Notion template in my Notion freebie library, so if you would like to access that, I will also leave that link down below. I update the library every single month with different templates that I love, and right now the monthly reset template is in there. I have this set up in a gallery view, and I have it filtered where the image is shown as the cover. When you click into each gallery, you do have the monthly reflection template. I have this set up as a recurring template, so anytime you create a new page, it'll just automatically pop up and auto-populate with this template. It has a section for reflection, vision boards, books to read, personal goals, favorites of the month, as well as business and career goals. This is kind of it for the monthly reset. Like I said, I dove a lot further into this in another video, but this is how I have it set up in my Notion. Next in admin, we have daily debrief. Like I said, this is kind of like a journaling exercise for me where I will sit down and I will debrief my day at the end of the night. Obviously, as you can see, I'm not as consistent with it as I would like to be, but I do really enjoy it when I do sit down and do it. Similarly to my monthly reset, I do have a daily debrief template that in the settings, I have gone and I've made it my default template. So anytime I do any type of new page or add anything to this list, it will default the template for the daily debrief. I also have this as a calendar view database. I could make it a table or a Kanban or anything like that, but I do like the calendar view because you can always go in and see what days you did and what days you didn't write, and you can read about the debrief that you were having on any given day. When I click the plus button here, it does bring me up a daily debrief template. This has questions like, what did you accomplish? What number one thing are you proud of? What challenge did you overcome? Etc, etc. Moving on to finance, let's go into profit first. Profit first is a type of accounting that my business personally follows, where, like the name, you prioritize the profit of your business. Much like my CRM, this is actually a template that I found online. There are lots of different profit first Notion templates. As you can see, they have all of the instructions, they set it up, and they did all the equations because personally, I don't think I could do this myself. Here we have the set variables. You can actually change these. The original profit first tracker, when I downloaded this, was actually just set up by year. That's because when you do profit first accounting in a traditional business, they want you to do a schedule of paying yourself like every second week, like a regular business. However, my payment schedule is a little bit irregular, so what I split it up into instead was the months. Here we have name, so this is whatever brand or income source I had, actual amount of income, sales tax, profit, taxes, operating expenses, owner's salary, as well as profit distribution. This column is literally just whatever is the half of the profit. What I really love about this is that it is plug and play. Like I literally just have to type it in and it spits out the numbers for where I need to put my money. This has actually made me a lot more financially savvy in my business, and I'm very happy about it, especially when it comes to taxes because, you know, taxes are truly the bane of my existence. Moving on to the personal and the business trackers. These are the exact same template except for one is personal and one is business. I did go through this already in depth in the reset routine, but every single morning I sit down and I'll update this section. I have it categorized into every single month because obviously it's a monthly budget, and there's sections for the retailer or whoever I bought it from, a place for notes and what did I buy, the amount, the category, the date of the spend, as well as the payment method. I also up here have it filtered by month as well as payment method and category. So when I'm updating my budgets, what I actually can do is click category and then click restaurants, for example, and it'll just pull up everything that I've spent in restaurants so I can kind of get a more clear picture. As well as payment method, by the end of the month or whenever my credit card statement is closing, I can look at this and go, oh, okay, well this is how much I need to spend on my credit card and pay it off. Like I said, my business expense tracker is exactly the same layout. The only difference is that there are slightly different categories because there are things that I pay for in my business that I don't pay for in my personal income. And for the final section in my home hub, let's talk personal and jump into the habits tracker. Like Like I said, this is a template that I actually downloaded from someone else, so that's why it's not fully fleshed out, but I wanted to show it to you because I want to do it. I just haven't sat down and had the time to actually really figure it out yet. Down here we have the current habits, and what I think is really cool is that the person who made this actually has a ton of calculations and equations in this habit tracker that I literally never would have thought about, but they have the frequency category. So this tells you, how many times a day you actually want to do this habit, or how many times a week you want to do this habit. So we have daily, work day once a week, all the way up to 6 times a week. What I thought was really cool too is they have a status section. So if you turn it off, it'll stop tracking that habit. These next 3 sections are all actually equations, so I don't exactly know how they work, but I do know that they auto-populate, so I don't really have to know that. Down here, they have a section for why. I think this is actually really important because we really should have a lot of intention behind the things that we do. There also is a place for negative visualization systems, as well as your motivational / vision board. And then we have the habit tracker calendar view. So this is actually how you track the habits, and it's very similar to my daily debrief page where it is a calendar. And when you press the plus button, it'll go into another page. This is where you check off if you did it, if you missed it, or if this was a neutral day, as well as adding it to whatever template. So example, this is workout. So I click workout and it does create a relation in here so that when we look at the workout calendar, it added to this calendar. And then it also changed my last tracking data to today because it was the last time I tracked this habit. Like I said, this is not my own template. I will link it down below if you guys are interested in getting it. I'm trying to figure it out. It feels great. It literally came branded like this, so it feels like it's on brand for me, but that is my habits tracker. And with that, we come to the end of my Notion tour. I know that was a lot, so I really hope you guys enjoyed diving into my personal Notion home hub. If you guys have questions about any of these templates, please leave them down below. I would love to chit chat with you guys about these templates and also just about today's video. Don't forget that I do have a Notion freebie library, especially for you guys, and if you want to check it out, it will be linked in the description below. And if you want to check out the content calendar or my monthly reset routine where I dive deeper into certain pages in my Notion hub, those will be linked down below as well. Make sure to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. I post videos every single Sunday, and I would love to see you in the next one. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have an incredible day,